Imagine the slow, relentless twist of your own spine like a rope being wrung tighter every day. Pause twos, every breath catches on jagged bone. Every mirror shows a girl folded in on herself, hiding the monster inside her body. That was me, Alexandra, Alex. For years, scoliosis wasn't just a diagnosis, it was my prison warden. And the people who should have thrown me the key, they used it to lock the door tighter. Then handed the key to my brother, so he could buy himself a throne of pixels and RGB lights. This isn't just a story of theft. It's the story of how my family chose his fleeting dreams over my literal survival, and how I turned their betrayal into the fire that forged me unbreakable. Deep breath, voice trembling slightly. I was 15 the day it truly began. School hallway, backpack slung over one shoulder, one innocent bend to tie my shoe, and the world exploded in white-hot pain. My back arched wrong, vertebrae grinding like broken glass. I collapsed right there, classmates stirring, teacher calling for help. The MRI came back like a death sentence, severe idiopathic scoliosis, curve at 68 degrees. Without intervention, the surgeon said, eyes kind but clinical, you'll end up in a wheelchair by 30. Surgery is your only real chance, spinal fusion, rods, screws, but it's expensive, even with insurance. You'll need $34,000 out of pocket. $34,000. To a teenage girl, that might as well have been $1 million. But I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to break. Voice hardens, I decided right then I would earn it myself. No more hanging out after school. No movies, no mall trips, no first kisses under stadium lights. Just work. Endless, soul-crushing work. Mornings, high school classes I barely survived through the haze of painkillers. Afternoons, waitressing at a greasy diner, smiling through agony as trays weighed down my crooked frame, tips barely covering bus fare. Nights, hunched over my laptop in the dark, designing logos, social media graphics, anything freelance clients would pay for. My fingers flew while my spine screamed. I lived on instant noodles, second-hand clothes, and sheer stubborn fury. Every dollar went into that savings account. My parents co-signed it when I was underage. It's your emergency fund, honey. We'll keep it safe. I believed them. Why wouldn't I? They were mom and dad. They tucked me in at night. They said they loved me. But love in our house had favorites. My older brother, Brandon, golden boy, charismatic, charming, effortlessly adored. At 22, he still lived in the basement, controller glued to his hands, dreaming of Twitch fame. He's got real talent, Mom would beam, watching him rage quit another game. He just needs the right setup to shine. Dad nodded, eyes shining with pride I never saw directed at me. Me, I was the problem child, the one who complained too much, the one whose pain was all in her head. When I winced at dinner, Mom snapped, "Straighten up, Alexandra, you're embarrassing us." When I asked for help with bills so I could save faster, Dad sighed, "Life's tough, build character." I swallowed every insult, kept saving, kept dreaming of the day I'd stand straight, look them in the eye, and walk away. Voice drops, heavy with foreshadowing. Then came the day everything shattered. I was 21, surgery consult booked. Excitement buzzed under my skin for the first time in years. I opened the banking app, hands shaking. Balance, $127.47. The room spun, I refreshed. Same number. Transfers, dozens of them over months. All to Mom and Dad's joint account. Then from theirs, straight to electronics stores, gaming suppliers. I drove home in a fog, burst through the door. They were eating dinner like nothing happened. Brandon laughing at his phone. "What did you do?" My voice was barely a whisper. Mom froze. Dad set down his fork. "We borrowed it, sweetheart, temporarily." Borrowed. I repeated the word like it tasted like poison. "You stole $34,000 from my surgery fund. For what?" Brandon looked up, smirking. "My streaming setup, duh. New PC, triple monitors, 4K webcam, lights, mic, the works. It's gonna make me blow up. Sponsors, donations. I'll pay you back when I'm rich." I stared at him, at them, the people who raised me. "My spine," I said slowly, "was going to twist until I couldn't walk, and you chose his toys." Dad shrugged. "Family helps family. Brandon's future matters. You're back. You'll manage. You're tough." Tough, the word hit like a slap. I turned and walked to my room, shut the door, and cried until my ribs ached worse than my spine ever had. But tears dried, rage rose. That night I didn't sleep. I logged into old phone backups, family iCloud shares I'd never bothered deleting. And there, buried in group chats, was the truth. Operation Golden Child is a go. Dad's message, time-stamped months ago. Mom, Alexandra's surgery can wait, she's young. Brandon needs this boost now. Brandon, you guys are legends, this rig is insane. Can't wait to flex. Sucks for Alex though, lol. They laughed about me, planned it, named their crime after their precious boy. Operation Golden Child. Something inside me snapped, not my spine. My last thread of forgiveness. Voice builds, fierce and trembling. I became methodical, cold. I printed bank statements, screenshots, receipts matching every purchase to my drained account. I photographed the gaming setup in his room, price tags still on some boxes. I saved everything, a dossier of betrayal. I waited, not out of fear, out of precision. The monthly family dinner arrived. Aunts, uncles, cousins, our fake happy facade, turkey carved, laughter forced. Dessert hit the table. I stood. The room quieted. I felt every eye. I have something to share, I said, voice steady as steel. I placed the thick packet in the center like a bomb. Operation Golden Child. I read the title aloud. My parents and brother stole $34,000 from my scoliosis surgery savings, money I bled for over 3 years, so Brandon could buy a gaming setup. Here are the texts, the transfers, the proof. Silence, then chaos. Aunt Lisa snatched pages. They what for video games while you suffer? Mom burst into tears. It was a loan. We were going to. A loan? I cut her off, voice rising like thunder. You never asked, you never intended to repay, you laughed about it, called my pain an inconvenience. Dad stood, red-faced. Enough with the drama, Alexandra. Brandon laughed nervously. You're seriously ruining dinner over this. I met his eyes. No, I'm ending it. Next morning, police station. Report filed, embezzlement. Fraud. The account was in my name, texts were evidence. Officers listened, faces hardening. They raided the house that afternoon. Brandon screamed as they boxed up his empire. Every monitor, every light, labeled proceeds of crime. Digging deeper, his side hustle, selling mudded accounts, violating terms of service and skirting fraud laws, plus a forgotten probation from a college stunt. Violation, handcuffs, county jail. 2 weeks turned into months as charges mounted. Mom and Dad, accounts frozen, creditors calling, they begged. Voicemails at 3 a.m. Alexandra, please, we're family, we made mistakes. Texts, forgive us, we love you. My reply, one message. You loved him more than my life, live with your choice. Block, delete, silence. The surgery, my anonymous Reddit post, raw, heartbroken, went viral. Strangers donated. A GoFundMe exploded, $42,000 in weeks. Messages poured in. You're brave. You deserve to stand tall. I wept reading them, real tears of gratitude, not pain. Surgery day, I woke up sore, bandaged but straight. The rods held. The curve was gone. Physical therapy hurt like hell, but every step was victory. I got the job, a full-time graphic designer, remote so I could heal. I moved to a new city, new apartment, new life, no shadows. Last I heard, Brandon out on parole, working dead-end jobs, fines crushing him. Mom and Dad, therapy, debt, an empty house echoing with regret, apology letters I never opened. I keep one photo on my desk, pre-surgery me hunched, smiling through pain. Next to it, post-surgery me, tall, shoulders back, eyes fierce. This isn't revenge, it's resurrection. From broken girl to unbreakable woman. If your family ever makes you feel small, remember, your spine may bend, but your will, it straightens, it rises, it soars. And when you finally stand tall, they will never reach you again. Long pause, soft emotional close. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're carrying pain like mine, you're not alone. and you are enough.